because only if you have the right product, have the right message and right brand, then you can naturally attract customer. And otherwise, if you're still using the old way, the white label way to use snap on the logo, relying on the ad spend to drive traffic, eventually you will run out of cash flow because competition is always coming in. And the more competition, the more seller comes into selling the same product, the higher the ad spend. And as a result, you will burn out and into a price war, right? And so today's difference is all about that, trying to have the right product development team and having the right branding and messages.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of More Clients, Less Effort. As per usual, we're going to make a little pivot to yet another business guru today, this time in the Amazon space. I'm joined by the amazing digital Dylan Lam. Dylan is the mastermind behind Omirank, a digital marketing agency that helps e-commerce and Amazon sellers succeed online. With years of experience, Dylan and his team specialize in lead generation, PPC, media buying, and email campaigns, all aimed at delivering data-driven results. Beyond his role at Omirank, Dylan is also a board advisor for various seven-figure Amazon brands, and in this capacity, he's honed his skills and gleaned invaluable insights from the dynamic world of Amazon and e-commerce. His multifaceted experience informs and enriches the services provided by Omirank and to its clients, ensuring that clients benefit from a comprehensive and up-to-the-minute approach to digital marketing success. And as I mentioned before, that's why people call you Digital Dylan. Dylan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, teams. I'm stoked to be here.
I know out there in Hong Kong at the moment, I've just been watching the Hong Kong Sevens. Fantastic time. Is that your home base, mate? Where do you
I'm based in Hong Kong normally, but I'm normally based in the UK, like almost like 9 months a year. So I'm thinking to like rotate between Dubai, Hong Kong, and UK in the future.
That sounds pretty good. It's always one of my ambitions to be able to sort of base somewhere for about 6 to 9 months and then take a 3-month holiday in some distant, far-flung corner of the planet that we live on. Mate, you tell me the story, all right? You weren't born into a particularly wealthy family like most of us who haven't had the opportunities of either a business family or come from wealth. And in many ways, that sort of, I guess, almost informs our entrepreneurial drive, if you will. But tell me about sort of your origin, right? It's a study hard, earn a degree, work harder, carry along your student debt, maybe at some point in the future, get rid of that. What was it about business and particularly sort of e-commerce that attracted you to make the switch and make the leap?
Right. So back in the days, it was like 2014 when I was first started on eBay. There was a time that I was like, let's try something new. Right, during those time, right? So we went on the eBay, we get a bunch of electronic product from China. We sourced them from China. Well, actually, what I was doing on eBay is retail arbitrage. So I bought the product from Hong Kong and China, some electronic gadget, put it all in a luggage. There was like OTG adapter, like on-the-go adapter, because in the past, you have to keep changing you can plug in your micro USB and USB stick inside, right? And then we have like those sort of like cables as well, and then put it on eBay. And then I was like, yeah, let's try something new that to just make money, right? Those time. And then things just go so well after that, because during that time it was like booming in e-commerce. It was a wild west. Whatever you sell, you can sell that no matter what. So
it's like find something from China, stick it online, people will buy it. I must admit, I have a photo on my desktop somewhere amongst all the other things that are now filling my 40-inch screen of a chicken wearing a tutu. Right? And I think it was probably from about then that I found it online. I was like, oh my God, someone is selling tutus for chickens on eBay.
Yeah, but you sell anything on eBay right now. Yeah. So yeah, back in the days, I was like, wasn't serious about manufacturing or white label. It was just like retail arbitrage. Right now, I'm based in Hong Kong because there is a Canton Fair that I'm attending next week. That's why I have to come back for the Canton Fair. And like long story short, went from eBay to go for Amazon, and then from Amazon to go to Shopify to become a D2C brand, to try to reduce the risk that is being putting all the eggs in one basket on Amazon. So we run Facebook ad to drive traffic to Facebook, to our store, and also during the time we're trying to scale to 8 figures, and then we're trying to get more capitals, and that's why we started a service-based company called Omirank. So we help sellers on driving external traffic or internal traffic, as in the Amazon PPC, those sort of things. So
Do you still run your e-commerce platform as well as Omirank?
that's right. Omirank is like a service-based agency, and myself, I'm also like a owner of like 7 figures brand. We at Multi7 right now that we trying to scale to 8. So that's what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a lot of the thing, and people probably forget, and this is the mistake that they make when they look at e-commerce things. You can't just create a product and stick it on eBay or stick it on Amazon or stick it on Shopify and suddenly expect it to make you millions of dollars. And as much as you see here's my check for this week and here's my check for this week and all this money that someone's making while they asleep, there is actually a lot more work that goes into making that 5, 6, 7 weeks, isn't it?
yeah. It's not like nowadays you can just put on a logo and then claim that it's your brand and then it's doing well right now. Nowadays it's totally different. Now it's more like go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to. What's the difference? Okay, you mentioned earlier that mid-teens was definitely the wild west of.
The major difference is more of like back in the days we are trying to make money on the information gap, knowledge gap. So not everyone know about like how we can find manufacturer, how we can use Alibaba to find the right product, right? So back in the days, no one knows about it. It's all about like exploring by yourself. But nowadays, those information and knowledge is everywhere. Everyone is trying to everyone knows how you can find a manufacturer or even how to negotiate with them or how to get the credit terms, etc. Because of that, nowadays, e-commerce is more about brand building and product development, because only if you have the right product, have the right message and right brand, then you can naturally attract customer and organic. Otherwise, if you're still using the old way, the white label way to use snap on a logo, relying on the ad spend to drive traffic, eventually you will run out of cash flow because competition is always coming in. And the more competition, the more seller comes into selling the same product, the higher the ad spend, and as a result, you will burn out and into a price war, right? And so today's difference is all about that, trying to have the right product development team and having the right branding and messages. And
before we go into that in a bit more detail, I just want to sort of pull something you said there and explain to me what the S-band is to our listeners.
So S-band, you mean there is multiple S-band in Amazon and outside of Amazon. In S-band, in terms of Amazon, we have to spend, it's like a flywheel, right? Because Amazon itself have organic traffic. So that's one of the merit, like why people sell on Amazon. You don't have to drive traffic from Facebook and Instagram or Google.
Yeah.
So S-band is like you pay the platform and then the algorithms will determine whether or not your product is able to convert. And because when you convert, the platform make money. If you are not able to convert, you are likely to pay higher in S-band, in bid, and that's why you have to pay more. So that's the SEO thing. How you, if you're able to increase the conversion rate on people buying your listing from the first customer journey, from click-through rate to conversion, then you can have a lower bid, and as a result, lower in S-band. So we call it like advertising cost of sales. But then on Facebook, that is not like Amazon way of running S-band. On Facebook, running S-band is different than Facebook because Amazon kind of thing is more of like keyword ad. But then on Facebook, it's more of interactive marketing. So you keep launching new asset from ABO, and then from ABO changing it to CBO. You keep optimizing the message, finding the right prospects, and then once you find the right prospect, the right message, then you can start scaling. You can choose horizontal scaling or vertical scaling. That is a lot of effort compared to Amazon kind of running ad. But then that is how you can profit from not putting all the egg in one basket, putting all the egg in one basket into not putting all the egg in one basket. So you don't have always.
And I think that's a really important thing to think of, that if we have all of our traffic coming from Facebook, but for whatever reason, the Facebook gods suddenly go, nope, you can't have that page anymore because you've breached community standard or something that you weren't aware of, that all of that traffic completely shuts down, doesn't it? I think this is an interesting thing you pick up there, that whichever platform you're on, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Shopify, eBay, or whatever, you've got to remember that these platforms exist for several reasons, right? They either want revenue from you buying direct product from them, okay? Or they want traffic, which they can sell into more product, more sales from somewhere else. And we've got to kind of keep that in mind, that they're going to make money off you one way or other. You're either going to bring them traffic, which they can then sell to somebody else, right? Or you're going to have to pay for the privilege of getting whatever organic traffic is there. And Facebook's the same. All the sort of social media platforms are the same, and it's that they want traffic. If you can bring them traffic, fantastic. TikTok, I think, has done a wonderful job of that. They've created a platform that allows creators to create traffic for TikTok. Wonderful for them, where they can then sell advertising to those same advertisers trying to get a bigger share of that traffic that's brought to the table. They're all the same. Amazon as well, if you want to appear, Amazon have a ton of products. As you said, it's very search driven. Amazon, they've got a bunch of things there, but one of the things I love about how Amazon have done their e-commerce is that you might also like these other products, and you're paying for the privilege of getting in front of that traffic and looking for those particular search terms. So if you can bring traffic to the table looking for your products, fantastic. You'll get other benefits from doing so. If you're trying to rely on someone else's traffic, you're potentially going to have to pay for the privilege of getting in front of it.
Yeah, that's right. And that is one of the skills that I guess eventually, if you are serious in e-commerce, we really have to learn that. Otherwise, forever, if we are just relying on the platform traffics, it's not a scalable business in overall.
Yeah, we're going to think of that as a bonus traffic as well. Some of the mistakes that you've made on each of those platforms.
Tons after all those years. So firstly, I would say putting all the egg in one basket on Amazon. So we have an account that was like selling around 200K a month in the past. And then they just decided like suspend our account. Because of what? Because of during those time, they were cracking down reviews manipulation. And we did nothing wrong about it. But then they decided really to account that even that have no problem at all, right? So it took us around 2 months in order to get the account back.
Yeah, but that's $100,000 in lost revenue during that period.
Yeah, and that was like 80K in cash flow that we wasn't able to get it back. So that was a very stressful moment for us. But yeah, I mean, putting all the egg in one basket is definitely something that everyone have to understand. It's not just about Amazon or eBay, because if you are on the platform, you have to play by the rule. But then eventually that you are the victim of being too naive, thinking that they are going to be treat you forever the same way on how they treat you when you get started, right? It's just the same as Facebook or TikTok account. In Facebook, like you could go suspended easily, right? So there's measurement that have to really understand that we have to take action. As in Facebook, we want to use multi-login account to have different like business manager to structure them into one for just using it for pages, one for using it for an account, or one for using it for the main business as well. So the way that we structure that is to really diversify our risk. So when one thing shut down, your whole business doesn't really got killed because of how you put in all the egg in one basket, no matter it's in platform or a social media channel, etc. Right? And that will be our number one mistake that we learn in that way on like how we can get out of like the control from platform or those big guy behind. And the second mistake that I would say is really about hiring the right person, right? During those time, like we thought critical thinking is important, but then we were like thinking, because I'm such a SOP person, like anything I would document it. So I thought, hey, I would just pick up someone and then come in and then just pick up the SOP and then they would just follow through. Right.
Yeah. So talking standard operating procedures there, right? Document how you do the thing you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we realized, hey, a company without someone who knows about critical thinking, essentially that we are not automating the business. We are just creating a job for ourselves. And therefore, by the mean of a player, back in the days, I was like, no, I thought like we really can do it by ourselves. But when it means by a player is the key element to help you scale from organization point of views, revenue point of views. Without them, eventually a bad apple will affect the whole organization. So that time we were like around 15 people in the team. Because of that bad apple, we have to fire around 10 people and restart the organization right now. And now we have like around 33 people in the team, which is really hard to build. And that's why talent is something that we cannot ignore when you first started hiring. Don't think about you can do it all. Really, we have to appreciate them in a way that as a leader, provide credits and provide KPI. That's how you are responsible. That's how you're able to be responsible for the whole organization.
Is that a skill that you think you learned by just sort of trial and error, or is that something you deliberately put effort into kind of learning more about, right? Because at 33 people, I would imagine your time is pretty much consumed with dealing with people the whole time, not actually from where you started, which was, I'm actually going to put this product and I'm uploading the photos and I'm configuring the sort of Facebook ads and stuff.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was definitely from trial and error. Like I was one of those guys, like if I don't try it, like back in the days, like I wasn't believing in mentorship in the past, right? No. But having the right person, I have a mentor that taught me a lot of things that is in e-commerce niche as well and real estate. And the way that she taught me, I was like, if I met him immediately, I would go through less pain during the journey. So it was definitely from trial and error, like from having to fire 10 people in one go to restarting the whole thing again. It was something that like kind of my dark moment back in the days. But nowadays, like 33 people in the team, I'm only responsible for 5 people and the rest is like how they report to different people. So if wasn't that kind of aha moment and the mentor as well, today I will be like working for them like 8 hours or 10 hours per day already.
Yeah. Talk to me about it, Sis. You mentioned how important branding and kind of, I guess, the owned media, right? The owned traffic, which you've obviously learned a lot about, as opposed to, and when we talk sort of owned traffic, it's your thing, right? You touched on the importance of having a sort of brand identity and owning the relationship with the customer and that, as opposed to either paid traffic or earned traffic, which is basically someone else's that you're going to borrow for a little while you keep paying them on their platform. How does a brand play into having your own traffic, and what's your process that you use to move people from who have seen your brand once through a Facebook ad or through traffic on one of the sites that you mentioned into your community? What's your process?
Community is king, I would say, because it's only that you have your community, then you can proceed with the next product launch and then the next product launch. It just makes your product launch way more easier every single time. You build a bigger and stronger community. And so by building a community, it's all start from an email list and also marketing campaign. So we have like a different marketing strategy, as in like building a royalty program and having a bulk purchase to increase the AOV and trying to expand into different complementary product to increase the lifetime value as well.
But I'll pull that one out for our listeners who are not familiar with some of these kind of e-commerce marketing terms. AOV, of course, refers to average order value, right? And we don't, obviously, when we get people in, we want to sort of subtly ratchet up that average order value if we can. A lot of people will be familiar with the sort of the order bump. You buy one thing and then here's the next thing for another $27 and the next thing for another $90 and so on, okay? Because that increases the order per transaction. You'll see it really, if you're not familiar with it, you'll see it at the supermarket where they put soft drinks and candy right at the end at the checkout.
Yeah, like when you bought candy, sometimes they asked you for a Coke as well. And
would you like fries with that? Is the most famous one?
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do is like we really build the customer journey. We really decide the customer journey from scratch. Firstly, we will decide whether or not the product is a consumable product. Right. Most of our clients, either they are selling commodity, either they are selling consumable product, or either they are selling product that is unique. Right. And different kind of product comes with different customer journey. Right. I will speak in terms of a Amazon seller point of view right now, as in Amazon doesn't allow us to own the customer. So to build a customer journey is something that as an Amazon seller that we have to put more effort, because if you're D2C, you naturally have to build that out, having a funnel, having a bridge page to increase the trust rate, to decrease the wall from like buying from you, right? So D2C is natural, but then as an Amazon seller, we have to really understand how we can utilize the lead generation, how we can utilize the gray area by sending them a PDF, how you can use the packaging to get them into your website to register for the warranty so you can send them marketing message, how you can create using either a scratch card to increase the to create a gamifications on the marketing campaign that we're creating, right? Or even like we have tried NFC as well to really let people scan the NFC card and then come to the website. The website is to try to claim a price, and then it's actually eventually a voucher for them to increase the lifetime value, which is a repeat purchase, right? That is like the whole customer journey as in the Amazon seller. Like we have to design the post-purchase. Once they purchase, it's just the start of the customer on how you can scrape the resource that you have to turn them into your customer, right?
Yeah, rather than Amazon's.
Yeah, which in long term, it will benefit you as in like not putting on that in one basket, even though Amazon got shut down, or Amazon something wrong with that. And then if you have your Shopify site, you still got your email campaign. Right now we are doing push notification as well. We are doing WhatsApp API as well to send them. It charges like 50p per message outside of 24 hours, right? We utilize all of those to really communicate, increase the touch point with the customer in order to turn them into your loyal follower in your Facebook community.
Yeah, so we're really looking at that. What's that omni-channel communication point? And I think it's really important to think of as we just try to communicate through one channel with people, that we're going to miss the opportunity to kind of get depth if they are not on it. In fact, I saw in a digital marketing group that I'm involved with just the other day, I was looking at this direct messaging script, and literally this thing said at 3 p.m. was like, yo, question mark, where you at? And then at 6 p.m. it's like, bro, question mark, with a little GIF that said, oh my God, I miss you, where are you? Right at 11 p.m. the message was like, dude, if you're not going to respond, I'm done with you. And then at 11:15, another one saying, oh no, please come back. I've gone, have you ever considered in that sort of 6 or 7 hour period that maybe they just went on Facebook? They were actually doing something else. So I think we've got to think about that. And whilst if you're trying email, for example, and you're saying, hey, if someone's just not opening their emails, sending more emails won't suddenly make them open it. We need to try communicating through other channels, either through WhatsApp, through text message, phone call, send a Facebook direct message or an Instagram direct message if you've got those details for your customer. But obviously in the e-commerce context, we're actually capturing a lot more information up front about people that we might otherwise not know, right? So, because they have to put all the shipping details. They're putting in their phone number, they're putting in their physical address and all those sorts of things that allow us to have this really, again, this omni-channel communication with that client. Right? We can use that relationship to either sort of deepen and invite them to the next thing, or we could just say, you bought my stuff, see you later, next.
Yeah, in D2C point of view, we were able to capture the email. In Amazon, unfortunately, that we won't be able to capture the email. So that's why we have to really put in the effort to really put in the insert card, packaging, drive them into the places that for us to capture the email list. And true, like what you just said is omni-channel is the key. That's why we call ourselves Omirank. You want to rank in different channel to increase the presence, to have a better follow-up sequence for all the customer that we have there.
I mean, I really love that, Dylan, and I think it's so important to think if you can't get details because you're selling through an Amazon or someone who doesn't necessarily give them, what is it that you can do to deepen their experience if you're delivering a product or service? Right? And I really love that idea of putting a postcard or something as part of that, a part of the delivery process, which you control. It's not being distributed by Amazon unless it's a digital product, that you can then say, hey, thanks very much for purchasing. We'd like to invite you over here to be part of this community where we can sneakily, yes, absolutely, give you more stuff that you might find valuable.
Yeah.
Mate, normally we finish off the show with a bit of a quick fire. I'm going to throw a bunch of things at you and see how you go with these. But let's go with this one. When you started out in your e-commerce journey, did you have much support from friends and family?
Not really. It's all a bootstrapped business because firstly, most of them, they don't really understand e-commerce. They was like, hey, you better be a doctor or you better be a lawyer.
That's
a e-commerce business, mate.
a very Chinese thing to do.
Yeah, it is, I think. Yeah.
Did you always want to be in e-commerce?
I was an accountant in the past, and it was like really me stumble across it's like selling a retail arbitrage and then finding out the opportunity, and I come into e-commerce. It wasn't intended, yeah, but that's it. That is where money to be made as well. So that's why I step in.
Yeah. What's one thing about building your business that you didn't expect?
I didn't expect the how I have to become a leader to lead a organization from responsible for myself. Now I have to responsible for people that I didn't get to know of, people that have families, and we have to provide benefits as well. That's something that I didn't expect before I get started, but I'm so glad along the journey that we have them, because without them, I won't be becoming the today's me, shaping a shop in mind nowadays.
What do you think the keys, given you built the team of 33, what do you think the keys to building that successful team? You did mention A players before. What's the other secret?
The secret is delegation, I guess. In the past, I would say I use time tracker or screenshot to delegate people. But if you have a company who is doing that, it means that you don't have a company, because a player doesn't need you to track them because they are not using, we can't see that as in like they use time to trade them for money. You must see them as in like a mission for them that they are into, they want to buy into, they want to be on together. And that is how we come a long way so far.
Yep. What do you say to people who think that setting up an e-commerce store anywhere is the key to riches, but they're not getting there?
The reason why people fail on setting up an e-commerce store is because the skill set problem. E-commerce have so much skill set that even me, that I'm not able to master, right? There's media buying, and there's like, I'm a media buyer in the past, like because I'm from direct response ad. And like there is also like operational efficiency, trying to optimize for the inventory. There's just so much skill set on top of different skill set that we have to refine, because money is not just made in what you can see from just the expense and ad spend and then deduct the revenue. No, it's not like that. I mean, money is in the operational side. The more efficient is the operation, the higher the morale of your company, the easier you can make money in the long run.
Yeah, it's funny, I just rolled out an automation to my team today, and my EA was like jumping up and down with excitement about how much easier to help make her life. What's your favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs?
Daydreaming. As I have to daydream. I spend like 10% of my time just thinking, because there's so much different risk factors and variable that you really have to really think through. Whatever decision that you make, it will shape your next stage of your life. And so if you make a wrong decision, or if you make a slow decision, then eventually it will come back and hurt you. And that's why spending time daydreaming is actually one way that I practice. Well, you can call it meditation, but I'm just lying down and just sitting down, just thinking about something, about one thing, So I just call it daydreaming. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I love it. Let's do this one as the last question here. How do you think AI is going to change e-commerce in the next 5 years?
AI is definitely changing the landscape. AI cannot replace a human right now, nowadays, saying like they are not good enough, even though we feed them the right information. They cannot write a full script that I have to, I don't even have to touch it. I mean, after they read the script, we still have to refine it 3 times, 4 times, They are just idea generation, but AI does provide a huge potential in writing a better neuro-linguistic copywriting. It doesn't really write good direct response ad at all, but in the long run, looking at Midjourney, by the way, I love Midjourney. I play with Midjourney every single day. Looking at Midjourney V6 right now, looking at like ChatGPT, looking at AI sales assistants, all those things, tells us the future is going to be eventually AI, right? So it's all about how you can adopt your skill to master yourself, to become a pro master, how you can master your skill on how you can talk to your AI assistant to increase your productivity. And that is how we can win the race, because eventually that is the most important skill set in the long run. When someone don't know how to talk to AI, whereas you know how to talk to AI, your productivity is going to be 10 times higher than the one who doesn't.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think AI is a game changer. It's not the end result, but it's certainly from a productivity improvement standpoint, it's a pretty impressive tool to add to your business arsenal. Dylan, really appreciate you joining us today and sharing your insights and knowledge into the world of e-commerce and Amazon sales. Guys, if you enjoyed today's show, please jump out, reach out to Dylan at omirank.com. You can find Omirank also on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And I know you've got a really awesome product launch formula course there on Omirank. So amz.omirank.com/product-launch formula. Dylan, thanks again for joining us on today's show and sharing your expertise.
Thank you, team. I'm so glad to be here.
Guys, if you enjoyed today's show, click the three dots at the top of your favorite podcasting app or at the bottom, depends on where it might be. Like, follow, and share it with someone who might find content of our show interesting. And we look forward to seeing you on another episode real soon. Take care.